So, watching episode 6 of Roswell, New Mexico, I think I learned a very valuable lesson. If you're ever in a love triangle, the best way to resolve it is via a threesome. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park and this is Approach the Nerd, and in this episode we are reviewing season 2 episode 6 of Roswell, New Mexico, entitled Sex and Candy. I didn't see any candy in this episode, but we're just going to leave it at there. At that is probably a song lyric. So yeah, this was an interesting, probably one of the most interesting episodes they've had so far this season. It has racked my brain. Things that have happened in this episode have definitely racked my brain. So we're just going to jump in. I'm not going to go verbatim. I'm just going to pull out the stuff that is crazy to me and the stuff that kind of happened I thought was interesting. So let's start with Liz and Max. Max lost his memory. He basically has the hairy disease from Charmed. I think it's the same writer. They probably kidnapped that writer just for this segment, tied him to the chair in the writer's room and said, we need a replica of what you did with Harry and Charmed, only not as long. I was like, really? Another one in the CW that has amnesia and doesn't remember their lover. Cool. But the fight at the beginning between him and Isabel was pretty good. I mean, they were pretty even. He did manage to overpower her for a second, and then Michael intervened, but she was able to direct, I guess, the dark energy blast of electricity and push it somewhere else, and then he was back to himself. It was cool watching Michael restart his heart telekinetically. But yeah, the whole amnesia thing, that was interesting. Even though he doesn't remember her and he doesn't know that he really doesn't understand, he can't speak Spanish. I mean, he was basically asking for condoms at a fruit and vegetable stand. He did ask Liz out anyway on the date, which means even with amnesia, he's still attracted to her. But she was kind of hesitant because in her mind, she loves him and he has no idea who she is. But he pretty much talks her into it. So they go on a date. We're in there on the date. They're talking. She's talking about her ex, about how, she left him because she loved her work more, which is kind of bitchy in a way. It's kind of, wow, I just packed myself up and left. I realized I wasn't as into him as he was into me. I love my work more. Hashtag bye. But so she is telling him all this stuff. They're basically confessing all these things, and she realizes that he is a lot lighter. He doesn't feel as burdened. He's not doing his savior complex, and he doesn't have the weight of the world on his shoulders. And she comes to the conclusion it's because of her, because that's what you do in CW. It's always the other person's fault. I don't ever get concerned with Liz and Max for the long run because, they're on the poster, so they're the canon couple. So, I mean, they're going to end up together regardless. But for contractual reasons, they have to have this moment. So she basically says, you're better off without me, and she goes home. Conclusion of this, he finds the bullet that she was originally shot with, and then all of his memories come back, and he goes and tells her that he loves her. Basically took him 20 years to tell her that, and that he does confess one thing I thought was funny. He used to order this drink, like this milkshake. He wanted some kind of peanut butter crunch or something, but she kept giving him the green alien drink. And he never corrected her because he was so in love with her. And so every time he would go there, she'd say, oh, green alien guy, and he just would take the drink. And I thought it was hilarious that, it wasn't until he had amnesia and said, I don't like this drink. That the truth comes out when he gets his memory back. By the way, I was so in love with you. I can't stand that drink, but you were showing me attention, so I just drank it. That was really cute. Their portion of the sex and candy part of this title was they started doing it on the roof. And then later she like the next morning, she's like, oh, by the way, I love you. I just kind of ripped your pants off and didn't tell you that. So yeah, love you. I thought that was hilarious. Okay, so then Isabel and Kyle. Kyle's trying to get over Liz. He wanted to get away from everything, so he goes to a gay bar, and so does she. They have the same idea. Throughout the night, they're like having really good conversation. They're getting drunk. Then she's making advances on him. He isn't really 100% reciprocating them. But the bartender, the female bartender, is all into Isabel, and they basically start making out, and they walk off to go do it. So yes, guys, Isabel had a lesbian experience. So, yay. Rosa was not in this episode. Neither was the father, really. I don't think I saw him at all. The guy who is the brother who we saw when they were going to the farm of the racist guy that hates the Ortega family, who blames, Rosa for his sister's death. Well, the brother, who's gay, he is really into Alex. He actually implies that they should go out because they have like an open mic thing, and Alex is at first he's kind of like, nah, yeah. And so, the guy's like, oh, I must have read it wrong. But he's like, no, you didn't read it wrong. And Maria's kind of looking like, potential, But the biggest thing for me in this episode, honestly, besides the Children of the Corn moment they have when they go out to investigate the, I guess, bootmaker that makes custom boots like the ones that Maria's mother came back with. He tried to kill Alex and Maria when they went out there. We learned that he was a twin. He actually had locked his twin up, but it's a lot of funny moments in that. He stabbed Alex. He chased Maria through the cornfield because she ran through the cornfield because she couldn't pull the axe out of the log. And so, because that's what you do in a horror movie. This is right after, Alex told them to stay together in the house, and she was going out to find service to try and call Michael as backup, I guess. Alex is like, no, you need to stay here because a gay guy always dies first. And Maria's looking at him like, I'm black and I'm a female. And he's like, okay, well, maybe next. I thought that was funny. But yeah, she's running through the cornfield. The guy grabs the axe. He's coming after her in the cornfield. Michael shows up in the cornfield because apparently he saw her truck. And then the guy knocks Michael out with the axe. He doesn't chop him up with the axe. He doesn't slice him, cut him with the axe. He knocks him out. Main character insurance. So Maria goes running and she puts like a little scarecrow like on the ground, and he thinks it's her, so he chops the head off, and then when he turns around, she kicks him in the crotch, and then manages to hit him with the axe, about that bottom of the axe, not really cutting him but knocking him out cold, which I thought was funny because he was trying to kill Maria, but Michael didn't get cut at all. Main character insurance, guys. So she goes back and gets Michael, and they're coming out, and Alex is coming out, and even though he's stabbed, he's like, where is he? So he's trying to go after the guy. That's when we see the twin come out with the shotgun and shoot his twin, and says, yeah, he's crazy, he was experimented on in the military, if they ask you to volunteer for trials, don't do it. And apparently it was the crazy guy who sold the boots, or he thinks sold the boots to Maria's mother, which makes me wonder, why didn't he try to kill her? He's crazy. It's really weird. That was very weird for me. But anyway, this whole Children of the Corn, Friday the 13th horror fantastical, event led to a threesome. I don't understand how it led to a threesome, honestly. I know that Maria and Alex are best friends. They love each other. I know both Maria and Alex are into Michael. Michael loves Maria, is probably in love with Alex. I just don't understand how all three of this whole triangle got resolved via a threesome. But it happened. I didn't even know Alex was questioning his sexuality or that he was even bisexual. On their way to the corn adventure, when Maria drags Alex to this remote location to go question the guy, we learned that Alex was Maria's first kiss and crush, and she had every intention of marrying him as her future plan after high school until he came out. And then she had to drastically change her plan, which is ironic that it went to Alex's boyfriend. It went from Alex to Alex's boyfriend. And that Alex made a comment in the truck saying, when I kissed you, and actually basically I liked it. It felt great because, I could love something that my dad could not mess up. Is he saying, it's just very confusing because she said, you're not ashamed of being gay. You don't wish you weren't gay. And he says no, but then he goes into that, basically it would have been easier. But that doesn't mean that you're attracted to a female. So I don't understand how he was able to participate in a threesome with a woman. That's just me. As a queer person, I'm confused. I'm very, very confused on that. But, I'm trying not to judge, so it is what it is. I just don't know what the repercussions are going to be because it looked like Michael and Alex basically were saying goodbye, He was like, I thought you were going to be my, end game. And he was like, me too. But then Michael goes back to Maria and says, I'm not going anywhere. And she's like, me either. And Alex goes to the little, the open mic thing that the guy originally had invited him to. And it looks like they may be starting up a thing. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's weird. And the only other thing that kind of happened was the girl, Steph, that is always watching the procedures, the heart procedures, or open heart surgery. Kyle goes and finds her there, and she kind of, she's kind of like, oh, you into me, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, you're kind of the person that I like to dislike, or something like that, something weird like that. But later on, we see she's actually having that surgery. So she was there researching the surgery for herself, which is interesting. I thought she was going to be like a heart surgeon, and maybe that was like an internship thing. But no, she was actually getting open heart surgery, or some surgery of some kind. So that was a good twist there. And then at the end, when Isabel was trying to talk to Max about her lesbian experience, he had a flashback of being a little boy and being chained up in a cave. And somebody like puts their hand on his shoulder, and it looks like it could be Noah. We don't see his face, but it could be Noah, or it could be somebody else. Why was he chained up? Where were Michael and Isabel? I mean, I don't know. But why is he just now remembering this memory? Like, what happened? When all of his memories came back, does that mean a bunch of suppressed stuff is going to come back and we're going to learn a lot more? Probably, because it's the CW. But yeah, like I said earlier, this was probably the most interesting episode they've had so far in general, honestly. But I'm still wrapping my mind around the threesome. I just am. And there was no candy in this episode, unless you count the drinks that they were getting. And I don't count those. So yeah, Sex and Candy, definitely a song lyric, but there was no candy. But yeah, I enjoyed the episode, guys. But what did you guys think? Leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you'd like to sign up for Jury Duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next on the Nerd Ballot, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.